for this time, we have Deepak Khaitan. So when we are talking to him, he switched 2 or 3 businesses first, and then he started his school. He was into petroleum industry. Then he started a business of marker pens, and then he ended up forming the school. And even the journey of forming the school wasn't so smooth. He had a lot of ups and downs, but still he continued with it, stayed put with it, and then went ahead. And it definitely, when I heard the story, I was very inspired, and I hope you feel the same energy as well. So now I would like to ask Deepak Uncle to share the calling question with all our guests. Deepak Uncle.
Thank you, Jay. Namaste to everyone, and thank you for inviting me to the green room. It's an interesting concept, and I'm sure it's going to take off very well in India and all over the world. The calling question, as we were discussing last time, as Jay mentioned, we had a preliminary session and we were discussing about my story and things like that. So some thoughts we caught on, and the calling question became, how does your family contribute in your life, to your life? So it's not to who you are, but to your life. Whatever happens to you, or whatever is happening to you, or whatever you are, how is your family or a joint family contributed in that manner? So because in our school also we want to promote the joint family culture. I would like to take this cue from the last green room which happened, where Mrs. Ruby Jhunjhunwala was the speaker, and she said old is gold. So I say that in the olden times, it was all joint family system. One person used to earn and all others used to be living together. So why can't we have the same system now? Why we have got into nuclear families, more than nuclear families, moving to single parent, or not even parents now, just being single. So how the families contribute and how we want to be singles, and what is the difference? So the question still, Jay, is that how does your family contribute to your life? Or how has your family contributed to your life?
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So now, one of the instances on how I could relate to this is that I was in my 4th standard, and in Maharashtra board, I don't know if it exists right now, but there used to be scholarships. Like there used to be a scholarship in 4th standard, and there used to be a scholarship in 7th standard. So now I had appeared for 4th standard, and our school was very enthusiastic in putting out students for these exams and preparing them. So our school took out classes, extra classes for us to prepare for this exam. And I wasn't very, I was in 4th standard, and I wasn't very mature then. And also I was I was kind of playful. I was, at that time, I used to focus on studies only when the exam used to come, not before that. And so I gave that exam, and after a month or two, the results came out. And the results were that I hadn't got the scholarship, and I had failed big time. And that was the first failure that I had experienced, and I was literally crying after after getting those results. And everyone in my house was consoling, "ठीक है बेटा, होता है, कुछ नहीं है." And but from that point on, my dad told me one thing, that next time whenever you do something, whatever you do, make sure that you don't have to regret it later. If you're doing it, make sure that you do it 100%, and then whatever results come, you make sure that you don't regret it later. So that is something that has shaped me how I am. No matter what, whatever I do, that there's one thing that is constantly behind my mind, that I don't want to regret this later. So this is how I could relate to your question on how does family contribute to me. And so now I would like all of you to share as well, but we'll be putting all of you in breakout rooms, and please share your story there. I would encourage all of you to share. Please don't come out of the come out of breakout rooms without sharing. Even if it's a small story, whatever you have in mind, just put it out. So, Janish, can you put all of us in breakout rooms?
I would also
And
like
I'll
to
repeat the
request
question is how much time
everyone,
you have.
yeah, I would like to request everyone that in your breakout rooms, please keep your video open. It's always nice to see smiling faces. It's a beautiful space that we have to get to meet a few people and to share our stories.
I hope you have had a very good experience in the breakout rooms. I hope everyone like shared something, and everyone hasn't come out of without sharing at least something that they have in mind. So like before we move forward, can some people like share like what they shared in the breakout rooms?
ये जय सर नमस्ते.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, namaste all. I am Roshan Kumar from Sunshine Worldwide School. I was in breakout room 12, and along with me, Vinita Fernandez madam, Devjani madam, and myself was there. So actually, we are sharing like how the family has contributed in your life in the previous also and at present now also. So Vinita madam has told that now also her son and her family member is always backing up. So even my family also still they are backing up. If for example, if I can say, if I'm taking my online classes, my wife and my मम्मी मेरी माँ जी हमेशा बोलती रहती है कि अच्छा बेटा आप तो क्लासेस में हमेशा रहते हो, ऑनलाइन स्क्रीन पे रहते हो, टाइम पे चाय, वाइफ को बोलती रहती है टाइम पे चाय दे दो ताकि इसको एनर्जी बूस्टिंग मिले. जस्ट नाउ आई हैड अ काढ़ा by 7 o'clock. I used to have kada. So it shows my family always supports me in every situations. So एक छोटी सी घटना हुई थी when my brother was very upset, like during the, to be fact, कारगिल वॉर 1999 मेरे भैया जी का शादी होने वाला था और अचानक से उनको कॉल आ गया कि यू हैव टू अटेंड द कारगिल वॉर. So my father is also a ex-serviceman from Navy. So my father told only one thing to my brother, शादी तो होता रहेगा बेटा, first go and serve your nation. And we all cried literally. मेरे भैया जी की लग रहा था कि शादी टूट जाएगी. 1999 सर, कारगिल, my brother is in army, serving for army. So शाम को एक लेटर आया वहां से कि पापा जी ने किसी को कुछ बोला नहीं और भैया जी ने भी कुछ बोला नहीं किसी को. और शाम के 6:30 बजे हम लोग गांव में थे और बोल रहे थे. फिर पापा अकेले बैठे थे टेरिस पे. तो आई वेंट टू माय फादर एंड आस्क्ड व्हाट हैपेंड डैडी. मैं मोस्टली आई कॉल पापा और डैडी.
You are on mute.
Yeah.
Roshan ji.
हाँ, so
on mute.
yeah, so थोड़ा सा डाउट हुआ कि व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम, व्हाई नोबडी इज टेलिंग मी समथिंग लाइक दैट. देन फाइनली आई वेंट टू माय ब्रदर एंड आज भैया बोलो बात क्या है, मुझसे मत छुपाओ. तो भैया ने बोला कि आई हैव टू गो फॉर कारगिल. सो आई लिटरली क्राइड लाइक एंड बोला अब तो आपकी शादी 28 तारीख को शादी होने वाली है, 28 जून को आपकी शादी है और ऐसे जा रहे हो आप. देन आई वेंट टू माय फादर एंड माय आस्क्ड माय फादर, पापा जी आपने मुझे बताया क्यों नहीं ये चीज. बोला कि अभी मैंने फैमिली को किसी को नहीं बताया और किसी को बोलना भी मत, नहीं तो सब लोग अपसेट हो जाएंगे. देन माय फादर कॉल्ड माय ब्रदर, भैया जी को बुलाया और बोला एक ही चीज बोला और वो बात अभी तक है कि गो एंड सर्व योर कंट्री, एवरीथिंग विल ऑल राइट. फर्स्ट अपना कर्तव्य जो है. सो ही टॉट मी बी ऑनेस्ट एंड वेरी ट्रूथफुल. एंड right now I am also following the same rule. If you are really very honest, everything will come to you. Let it be little bit late or all of the sudden. And right now, my family always, if I am upset or when I am down, like if I am like, so always comes, my wife comes, my mother comes and supports me in every situation. So actually, family creates a procreation for your backups, and family always stands for you in whatever condition. आप जिसी भी condition में हो, family आपका साथ कभी नहीं छोड़ता है. So what I have learned from my family and my especially my father, that be honest, serve the things, be truthful, you will get your fruits one day, definitely. Namaste.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Roshan uncle, for sharing this amazing story.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I can comment on this or anything, but I'll just like let it sink in, and we can move forward. We'll move forward with our session. So, Deepak uncle, would you like to take it over from here?
As you say, Jay, whatever is the sequence, we will work as per the sequence.
Yes, yes. We can move ahead with the story.
Perfect, perfect. So,
And जय जी दीपक सर जी और एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ सर जी मैं. And I am working in a Sunshine Worldwide School, and Deepak sir, trust me, always supports in every situation. वो कभी भी कोई भी सिचुएशन में आप चले जाओ, आपको हमेशा बैकअप देंगे, आपको मोटिवेट करेंगे. सो वी आर ऑल्सो वन फैमिली, एंड आई रियली थैंकफुल टू दीपक सर जी कि वो हमेशा खड़े रहते हैं. कोई भी मुसीबत रहेगा तो बोलते हैं बेटा कुछ नहीं, सामना करना सीखो, जो डर गया सो मर गया, जो डर गया सो मर गया बोलते हैं. सो he taught every member of the Sunshine to be fearless. जो होगा उसका सामना करना सीखो, and you will get the fruit of this, but be honest in your life.
thank you, Roshan. Thank you, Roshan. Let me start. All right, everyone. So here I go with my little story, and there is lot to speak, but I will try to stay with the question, the calling question, and connect the chords accordingly. Born in a UP town of UP called Aligarh in 1965, so which makes me almost 55 now. And it has been a wonderful journey. People think small towns mein kya hota hai, but the way we lived in Aligarh was amazing. बड़े शहरों में लोग रहते हैं, they may be looking at the material world, but the real life is in the small towns. The way you connect with each other, the way you feel for each other is the whole town is a family. Like when we say the village is a family, and that is true because I was part of some of the functions in villages around me, and the whole village used to come and serve during the wedding. This is wow, a small village becomes a full family. And slowly, gradually moving on, I went to a convent school, Lady of Fatima school, then moved on to Mayo College, Ajmer, studying in Mayo College, Ajmer. The school journey was also awesome. It was fantastic. My mother was always involved. My mother was very involved in the school as well. So this is how the family system started, the contribution of my mother. My principal asked her that, Mrs. Khetan, we want some help from you. We don't have anyone in the canteen, and she used to put up a canteen during the school days, and also started doing some uniforms for the school. So she was so connected with the school that made the school and her house as one big family again. And we were all doing our bits and moving on. I will quote some incidences from my school and from my both the schools, the Lady Fatima School and the Mayo College, when I come to talking about when I started the school and why. But this course of time, in 1982, I passed out from Aligarh, went to Ajmer in Mayo College. After passing Mayo College, I suddenly, I got good percentage and I got admission in Sri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi. And that's a wonderful college, as you all know. But as the luck would have it, we had done 10+2 in Mayo. And my father said, Deepak, abhi Aligarh mein, it has become, it's changed from 10+1 to 10+2. So you will save 1 year in graduation. Come back to Aligarh. Kya karoge, ek saal waste ho jayega. I said, fine. And I left Sri Ram College of Commerce after 2 months and moved back to Aligarh. And you know, from my economic honors, I got into BSc Mathematics honors. So mathematics shuru kar diya humne Aligarh Muslim University, and it was a wonderful time. Ghar mein rehte the, and as you Jay told you in the introduction, I was born in a petroleum family. So my father had petrol pumps and we had a petroleum agency. It was a joint family business. My father and my uncle used to run the business together. But my father was very simple and he lived a wonderful life. Today, when I remember and go back to my days of Aligarh, I feel the way he lived life. We used to sometimes, being very honest, sometimes we used to say, Papa, ab kya kar rahe ho? It's not really giving us enough. But he used to say, bhai, main to itna hi kar sakta hu, that is what I can get for you. But today, when we go back into our past and we see the life they lived, both my parents have given me the values, the culture, the traditions, and the vision of my school today is coming from them. The unconditional happiness they had, the unconditional happy life they lived throughout their life was absolutely amazing. And I remember it every single day today. And that's the vision of our school. The Sunshine School that we run is coming from our practical experience of my parents. The unconditional happiness. I remember incidences when I was in the university. My father said, okay, start coming to the petrol pump and start learning. So in the evening, I used to go to the pump and I used to ask him, first day when I went, Dad, where is my office? Bole, kaun sa office? Chalo, bahar khade ho ja, petrol dalo gaadiyon mein. So I was standing there and putting petrol in the cars. And that is how I learned, and that is how he taught me. We used to sit there for hours. I used to get onto the tank lorry, take the dip of the tank lorry and understand. That is how I would say a Marwadi father teaches the son to practically do business. Then I graduated from my BSc Mathematics honors, got into MCA, Masters in Computer Applications, in Aligarh University itself. But after 1 year, both my father and my uncle said, "Bahut ho gayi padhai, enough, join the business." I said, "Papa, it's an MCA course. I have to finish it for 3 years." Bole, nahi, bahut ho gaya. 1 saal ka diploma le lo and come out. So I said, "That's not fair. I need to study." Bole, nahi, it's over. Just come back to family business. So I left that after 1 year. And believe me, today also, that girl was there, one girl who had joined the diploma. And if I left the seat, she would have got that seat for MCA. So she still remembers, and she came to my house and actually thanked all of us. Ki, Deepak, you left the course, so I got to be a MCA. I said, great, yaar, it was destined for you to be MCA and not me. So it's perfectly fine. You go ahead with it. And immediately I was shifted to Delhi with my uncle. My father said, your uncle will teach you more, my Tauji. So I went to Delhi and started living with my Mamaji, my mother's brother, and started working there. After a few days, my Tauji said, okay, look after the factory he had set up for making adhesives. So I was, from the beginning itself, because my father was so simple, the petroleum business, when even I was in school, I used to be in touch with the Bharat Petroleum officers, because these officers had a very different way of working. So I had to actually socialize with them. My father was not a very social person. So I had to socialize at a very young age with them. So I had learned the tricks of the trade very young. So when I got into Delhi and the business, I could handle the whole thing, the factory myself. And very easily I got into the business and started diversifying as well, making adhesives, rubber solution, and selling to companies like as big as Liberty Shoes. That was started, and then I got into the Chakrabarti depot, where we had huge turnover of petroleum. Just to quote a little turnover, it was about 4% of the all India Bharat Petroleum trade, which is huge, which is actually huge. My uncle was the president of All India Petroleum Association, and my other Adit's father is my first cousin. Same way, my other first cousin was Mr. Also, he was Jhunjhunwala, Vinod Jhunjhunwala. I was very close to him. Suddenly, I was very close to him, and in 87, suddenly he passed away. And I would like to tell you this story. Why I'm quoting this here is because he had a younger brother, Surendra Jhunjhunwala, and both of the brothers were very close to each other. The younger brother got into bad habits, and he got cirrhosis of liver, and he was admitted in the hospital. And he had 3 children. The elder brother, Mr. Vinod Jhunjhunwala, had no children. He was married though, but he had no children. He said, my younger brother has so much of the big family and liabilities. And believe me, this is between, I don't know whether even Kishan Bhaiya knows about it or not, but he prayed to God that take my life and let my brother live. And I see this happen in front of me. I was in AIIMS hospital taking care of the younger brother, Surendra Jhunjhunwala, Surendra Singhania. And then suddenly, after a month, I see Mr. Vinod Singhania got into the hospital. And Mr. Surendra Singhania went away from the hospital. He was fine. He was perfectly all right. And we lost him. Somebody had to go. So it was Mr. Vinod Singhania who had to go. It shook me a little, but in any case, we worked that out. And this is another thing I want to quote about family. Mr. Vinod Singhania was also a wonderful businessman. He learned from my uncle, my Tauji. But suddenly, this is what I wanted to bring up is they both had business rivalry, which was not acceptable. And I had to really face it because I was close to both. And I was stretched in between. These are certain things which have really, I'm saying this to you because our school current philosophy depends on all my experiences. All my experiences. In 1990, I came back to Aligarh, got married, got into my family business, started looking at the petrol pumps. And suddenly before I came to Aligarh, the 3 years, there was a manager of ours who did some little manipulation and he drew some money from the bank. And my father could not take it. And when I came back to Aligarh, I started sorting it out. But in 4 years after I came to Aligarh, in 94, I lost my father as well. So 94, my dad passed away. Now we had to decide what to do. And as things would happen, we had to have a family partition, which again, I feel why, but it's okay. It had to happen, so it happened. Whatever we got, we very quietly took that. A lot of people used to say we were born with a golden spoon. But finally, we got into I had done my computers, so I started a computer center. I took some agencies of different petroleum products and started working with them. But I started looking for moving out of Aligarh somehow. And I know some of you know Aditya today. Aditya's father is the person who actually helped me to move out of Aligarh to Goa. He's the key. From there, my life is tuned with him, and I'm looking him as my mentor from that time. 98, I moved to Goa with Mr. S.K. Jain, who was setting up a plant in Goa. We did a small partnership with him and started doing furnace oil emulsification for Zuari Agros. Fantastic, it was working very well. But believe me, what we were earning in Aligarh, we did not earn even 1% of that in Goa. But that was fine. We had to move, so we moved. Life takes a turn, and we took that turn very happily and moved. Mr. S.K. Jain's son was in writing instrument business. So he said, let's start up a writing instrument business. And we did. First year, we made marker pens, and the marker pens, and at that time, 1999, I went to the World Fair in Germany, in Frankfurt, and we got the technology to make marker pens. And we started doing this marker pen business. And the first year it went on fantastic, very well. And we started making profit. Suddenly, we changed one small tip of the marker and did not experiment properly. Somehow, things had to change. I don't blame anyone, but things had to change. So all the stock that went to the market was rejected, leakage, and came back. At that time, about 2001, we lost around 50 lakhs. Ancestral money, we lost that money. That is the time God plans for you. So he got me into Amway business. The Amway and the Brit Worldwide are amazing companies. Whatever you may think about network marketing or whatever, but they are so inspiring. The people around are so positive. They're motivating. They are with you like family. And that kept me going. With that loss also, that kept me going. I did not lose heart. I knew something is happening, but it's okay. And the biggest advantage to me was my mother. In 1998, when I moved to Goa, my mother was still in Aligarh, in our ancestral house. She says, Deepak, you go and set up, then let me see if I can come or not. And you know, at that age, at about 60, she sacrificed. And she says, Deepak, you're not earning enough, doesn't matter. I'll sell my Aligarh house and we'll move to Goa with you. She changed her full lifestyle and moved with me to Goa. That's family, how family contributes. That's how family contributes. But it helped her. She was she was in distress, or not depressed after my father's death. But after that, she recovered, and coming to Goa was a boon for her actually. And she started living life. She was very jovial person, and she was very loving, and also she was very interested in the casinos. So she used to go to the casinos in Goa and used to enjoy. So that all changed her life, and it kept on going. Suddenly in 2002, an idea came to my mind that let me start a school. All of a sudden, out of the blue. And December 2002, we conceptualized. I spoke to one of the wonderful persons who was running a fantastic school in Goa. And she helped me. She says, yes, Deepak, we need a good school. And March 2003, we launched the school. June, we started the school. In 6 months, we rented a place. There were challenges, yes. It was easy, no. We had permissions, no. But we started. We marketed the school right from the beginning with a very different philosophy. No competition, which people thought what you're talking about. No exams, no textbooks, no discipline. I used to tell the parents, I will spoil your child when they come to school. They said, wow, it's going to spoil my child, which means I'm going to give you freedom. And with that freedom, you will learn responsibility, but that used to be taught to them over a period of time. But with a different philosophy, without any experience of school, and we started the school. Now I'll tell you why I started this school with a different philosophy. As I was mentioning to you about my life throughout, I still remember incidents from my childhood. When I was in the upper KG, there was ranking. First, second, third. You are first, he's second, you are third. And I was a good student, by the way. Me and one of my friends, we used to come first or second, or first or second, or first or second. I will not name that friend. One day I went to the school to collect my report card, and I was second. After a while, teacher calls me back. And teacher says, Deepak, give me your report card. Take it, ma'am. And she says, and she changes it to first. I said, what happened, ma'am? She says, no, you have become first now. How can I become first? I was second. And Anurag was first. We were both very good friends. And we were in upper KG, remember? And you know what happened? He was drowned in a swimming pool by the laborers of his company. He lost his life on the day of our report card, and I was moved from second to first. That is why I don't want ranking. Ranking is not required. There's no need for ranking. It's from my experience. Deterrent, it's a deterrent. Again, in the same school, I was supposed to be the head boy of the school. The final day, when the awards were being given, everyone saying, Deepak, go, collect your head boy status. And suddenly another name was called. It's okay. It's okay. And we went and asked the principal what happened. She says, Deepak, you and all the others on the 26th of January, you all bunked school and we had a cricket match. After cricket match, you all bunked school. And this is the boy, only boy who came to school that day. And that's why he's made this head boy. So it means only one thing which triggered for him to become a head boy, and all other things have been drowned. And you know, the whole irony of the whole situation is, after 50 years of when the school celebrated 50 years recently, about 10 years ago, one of the teachers who was present at that time calls me, Deepak, you were the head boy that year, please come. I said, sir, no, I was not. It was so and so. So still they recognize me as the head boy, but technically on paper I was not. So paper does not matter. So paper does not matter. When I went to Mayo College, another incident happened. We used to have quadrangulars football tournament, and there was Mayo, Doon, Scindia, Delhi College. All the 4 schools used to meet in Mayo College and have a football match. And this one year, Mayo College was winning. No, not Mayo. Some other school was winning. And this one boy was excellent. And one other team did not want that team to win. And you know what he did? Just put his spike shoe on his ankle, and this ankle became this big. Do you play to participate? Do you play to enjoy? Or do you play to just win and lose? Is life only for winning and losing? I don't think so. I don't think so. जीत हार में तो कुछ रखा ही नहीं है. जिंदगी में कितने लोग जीत गए और हार गए? I don't know. That's why at school we have no competition. Today our school team goes to play football, but with values. And you know, they come first or second or third, doesn't matter. But what do the other people say, you know? Sunshine School team is the only team which plays with values as a team with teamwork. That is why they are winning. I did not send the school team for almost 12 years till I could seep in that philosophy into them. Now they're ready and I say, go. Because I know you will participate, you will do your best, but you will not abuse anyone, you will not push anyone, you will not hit anyone. If anyone does that, they're out of the team. That's the value system we have built on our school. Then what I was talking about, the bunking one day, that system, it's responsibility. That's why we don't have discipline. That's discipline. They disciplined me by not giving something. And we don't do anything like that. There's no reward and there is no punishment. So there is no carrot and there's no stick in Sunshine School. What we do is, you have freedom, you do what you want to do, and you be responsible for your actions. Be responsible for your actions. That is how we have built the Sunshine philosophy, by giving freedom and making children responsible. First 4 years of the school were very tough. We had 16 children in the first year. We had a setback in the first year itself because Secretary Education Goa was our parent. And someone told them, we don't have permission. He made a noise and all the parents left. We were left with only 8 children at the end of the first year, academic year. But still, it did not make us deter. We celebrated the first annual day in 2004 March itself with 8 children. And we called the MLA of the area. and we moved on. First year, second year, third year. By third year, people used to say, Deepak, pack up and go. You're losing money. Nothing is happening. You stick to your philosophy and it will not happen. It will not happen. But somehow we kept on moving. Fourth year, people understood. We went to 35 children. Fifth year, we purchased a piece of land where our school exists today. And then people got more confidence. They mean business. And from 35 to 70, 70 to 140, 140 to 300, 300 to 400 to 500 to 700, and today we are 900. Challenges were there, of course. But with the philosophy, there were people who wanted to be with us, and they are still with us. There's one of the educators who has been with me right from day one until today. So people have understood the philosophy and they say, yes, this is what education should be all about. Is it learning to earn or is it learning to live? That's what we need to decide. Are we only teaching or educating children to make a small living out of their life, or living life to the fullest, the real life? And that is what Sunshine does. And we are so glad to inform you all that whatever we did from the beginning, today the new education policy is saying that all. So for our team, it will be a very smooth cakewalk because we are already there. Others may have a lot of challenges, but we are already there. Yes, in 2011-12, another challenge we had. We were following ICSE. We applied to ICSE, and ICSE said somehow they had internal issues. The Anglo-Indians and the Catholics, they had some challenges among their leadership. Children were in the 9th standard, and we did not get ICSE permission, affiliation. All parents were up in arms. They were shouting, and almost 30 children in the 9th had to shift and change school. We got a very bad name that the school did not prepare properly. But I was smiling. You know why? Because again, God had a plan. He prepared me. I went to Oneness University just before that Halla Gulla, and I had done my process for 3 days. So when I came and faced the parents, I was smiling. This one parent says, we are in so much of trouble and you are smiling. And I go, what can I do? I did all my best. It did not happen. It did not happen. But the same year I applied for CBSE. And believe me, in the first 6 months itself, we got both the permissions. ICSE as well as CBSE. Then we were wanting to choose which one to take. And of course, we chose CBSE because CBSE was on a very progressive path that time. They had launched CCE, they had launched no detention, they had launched PSA, ASL, OTBA, OTBA's open textbook examination, and so many reforms they were doing. Wonderful. In 2012, then we started taking off. But this Halla Gulla took a big toll on my mother. My mother was my backbone. And from the day one, my mother, my wife, and my children were with me in the school. You will not believe, in the first 3 years, I was a driver to bring children from home to school and take them back. My mother and my wife were the cooks, used to cook food and bring them to school and feed the children there. And we used to do every single thing ourselves. That is how we have grown from zero, from scratch. And I will not forget one more person who was very, very helpful, or who was actually the technical backbone of Sunshine, Miss Shirin Choksi. The first day I came to know about her, she was the Godrej School principal, ex-principal of Godrej School, Mumbai. And she had this alternative schooling philosophy. And I said, ma'am, I want you as my consultant. I went to Mumbai by overnight bus, and I went outside the guest house where she was living, and I waited there. She refused to meet me. She says, no, Deepak, I have no time and I cannot give you any commitment at this point in time. I said, no, ma'am, at least talk to me for half an hour. She says, okay, 12 o'clock, I'm going in the car, we will talk. I'm going for a meeting. I said, great, thank you so much. And we went for that, she went for that meeting, and I sat with her, and the half an hour we talked. Believe me, what happened? The whole afternoon we were together. The whole evening we were together. And in the evening, I signed a contract with her and came back next day to back. And for the next 3 to 4 years, every single month, she was in Goa for 3 to 4 days and training us. From 5 in the morning till 12 midnight, she was 65 years that time. And from 5 in the morning till 12 midnight, both Sapna, myself, and my mother used to learn from her. Do all workshops, training, train teachers. So she was the one who very clearly guided us that this is your philosophy, but this is how you can implement it. The implementation was from her. The methodology was from her. And I still remember her, and she's going to be there always. And this is how it all happened. 2012, but in this journey of my ICSE, CBSE turmoil, I lost my mother. She took it on her heart and she couldn't survive. The shouting which happened in the school, she was very disturbed. Till October, she was coming to school. In August, this incident happened. Till October, she came to school. In November, she went to the hospital, and 6th of December, she passed away. She did not suffer much because she was a very, very pious and God-loving lady. So I still remember, everyone in school remembers her by the Mummy Ji or Dadi Ji, and that is how she is the founder of our school. And then the journey became a little smoother, though with the CBSE permission. But CBSE again took a U-turn in 2017. They again changed the policies. So we again had to go back to our systems of, but we didn't want to change our philosophy. So we have now taken IB. So for the primary, we are IB school, and for the seniors, we are CBSE. Let us see with the new education policy, CBSE will change. If not, then we may have to go back to IB. But believe me, friends, family is the backbone of somebody, but it all happens because there is a reason you have to be with them. Everyone contributes to your growing or to your life. Whether it's your cousins, like Kishan Bhaiya has been a very big contributor to my life. Same way, before that, Mr. Vinod Singhania was a very big contributor to my life. And my sister and my brother-in-law has been very supportive. My Mamaji supported me when I was in trouble. He gave me some finance to support the school and to take care of things. And he also gave me business, the Halonix business. And he was an inspiration all the time. He changed 37 businesses from zero and finally ended up a 3,000 crore plant. So he was an inspiration always. And so this is how family supports you, family inspires you, family motivates you, family takes care of you. And it's basically, it all happens because it has to happen. The people who come in your life, or if you come in some family, it's because it's all planned that way. So let's understand that and respect each other. Everyone will have differences. Difference of opinion will be there for sure. No two partners, life partners are same. They are poles apart. But why? Because God says, don't make your life monotonous. Have some no joke, it's important. So that's how life is all about. We need to live with each other, understand each other, and compromise. If you say compromise, it's compromise. But if you say we are living unconditionally happy, then it is that you are destined to be like this. Just do acceptance and live. Accept it. This is it, and I accepted it. Period. You cannot do anything about it. That's why I tell my parents also when they come, they want to live their dreams through their children. I said, please don't own your children. They are just born to you. Don't make your dreams run through them. That's okay if they do, but not necessary. I have seen in the school as well, many times twins born to the same parents lived in the same environment are parts apart and ways apart. So it is not about what happens, but it has to happen that way. That acceptance is very important. And that is how I have lived my life. And family absolutely contributes because they are supposed to contribute in your life in whatever ups and downs you go through. So please accept your family members. I feel so, I don't know, surprised or shocked rather that two brothers cannot run a business together. Why? Biggest of the biggest, richest of the richest. Is it the money? No, I think it's destiny. We should not blame anyone. It's not that he's good and he's bad, or he brought me down, or he did this to me, or my ego, or there is ego. No, it's not about that. It had to happen, it's happened, accept it and move on. Why keep blaming each other? We can keep blaming each other. Blame game can happen all your life. But do you want to keep having the blame game, or do you want to just accept and live? I think living is more important. Gradually, I'm promoting also the joint family system. It's such a wonderful system, believe me. We were just discussing in the previous session that how if you cannot talk to somebody in your immediate family, at least in the joint family, you can connect to somebody. Because there'll be somebody who will have your thought process, the same mindset. So it's so important to have a joint family system, and the families will grow beautifully. I just had an example. Recently, I speaking to one advocate in Goa. In Delhi, there's a house which has 4 or 5 floors. And believe me, 54 people stay together as one joint family. And in this time of COVID, all of them got positively infected. All 54, including children. And he was telling me that none of them had to go to the hospital. They took care of each other and came out of COVID. They are all happy and healthy and safe now. That's what joint family system is all about. They looked after each other. We think, "Arey, ek ko ho jayega, dusre ko na ho jaye, we'll stay away. Quarantine yourself. Isolate kar do usko." Arey, family hai bhai. Ho bhi jayega to darna kyun hai? Why are you scared of this? Live with each other, be each other's strength. Don't pull each other down. I think that is what my life has been through this journey, and I am absolutely enjoying and living each moment and celebrating each moment. Unconditionally happy, and I think it's all blessings of the Almighty and my family members. All like Adit was mentioning about the Shraddh, all the Pitras across my ancestors, their blessings are with us, and the ones who are alive, their blessings are with me. And that is why I'm here and unconditionally happy. Thank you very much, Enterprise team, for giving me this opportunity to share my little story. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer all these questions.